Suppose you'll call this a confession when you hear it. Well, I don't like the word confession. I just want to set you right about something you couldn't see because it was smack up against your nose.
Hello, my name is Foster Hirsch. I'm a film historian and professor of film at Brooklyn College, and I'm here to talk about Film Noir.
Walter Neff to Barton Keyes, claims manager.
Walter Neff in Double Indemnity.
To my friend Christopher Cross.
And Chris Cross in Scarlet Street. The two characters I'd like to talk about today that are very fundamental in describing noir stories. In many ways, they're similar characters, although they might seem to be on the surface different. But the way in which they're similar is, for me, the very core of classic era noir. Walter Neff is an insurance investigator.
Is Mr. Dietrichson in?
Who wants to see him?
The name is Neff, Walter Neff.
He's a man with a good job.
You're a smart insurance man, aren't you, Mr. Neff?
Well, I've been at it 11 years.
Doing pretty well?
It's a living.
He has a perfectly organized middle-class life. He's not married, but he seems to be a completely responsible citizen. He's not a criminal. He meets the wife of a potential client, Barbara Stanwyck. He sees her at the top of the stairs. He's attracted to her.
I've been trying to contact your husband for the past 2 weeks, but he's never in his office.
Is there anything I can do?
The insurance ran out on the 15th. I'd hate to think of you having a smashed fender or something while you're not fully covered.
He's drawn to her, but he's also drawn to the scheme of perpetrating an insurance fraud.
You mean you want him to have the policy without him knowing it? And that means without the insurance company knowing that he doesn't know it. That's the setup, isn't it?
Where they'd get a lot of money. It would also mean arranging for the murder of her husband to collect double indemnity.
Only sometimes you wish he was dead.
Perhaps I do.
And you wish it was an accident. And you had that policy for $50,000. Is that it?
Perhaps that too.
Fascinating to me is how this character willingly conspires with a woman he knows to be a wicked woman, the femme fatale. What is the psychology that draws this man from the normal world into the netherworld?
In this business, you can't sleep or try to figure out all the tricks they could pull on you. You're like the guy behind the roulette wheel, watching the customers to make sure they don't crook the house. And then one night you get to thinking how you could crook the house yourself and do it smart.
And it's that transition that I think is at the heart of noir. Noir posits that we, each of us, have a touch of larceny within, which I think is a delicious idea. And it's wonderful in movies to see that larceny carried out by other characters, so it offers a vicarious thrill. If we see Walter Neff committing a crime, trying to outsmart his boss, trying to get back at the job that he has, wouldn't we all like to do that at some level?
This policy might cost us a great deal of money. As you know, it contains a double indemnity clause.
If we get angry at work, wouldn't we like to get back at them? But if we see him do it, we don't have to do it. So it is a vicarious relief of anti-social or larcenous impulses that most of us have within us. I like to shock audiences and students by saying we all have an inner criminal, and a character like Walter Neff allows for the vicarious release of that inner criminal.
To my friend Christopher Cross.
Chris Cross in Scarlet Street.
25 years of faithful service.
A bank teller, a man who absolutely lives a straight and narrow life. He has the misfortune of being married to a shrewish wife.
No, silly pictures cluttering up the hall. If you don't get rid of that trash, I swear I'll give it to the junk man.
He makes a fatal error. One day he decides to walk home from work in a different way. He's a man who has a life of absolute routine and order.
Oh, which way is it to the East Side Subway?
Round the corner, past the L, 4 blocks.
Oh, thank you, officer. I guess I got turned around. These streets are all mixed up in Greenwich Village.
Yeah.
Walking 1 block out of the way, he runs into a femme fatale, and his life is destroyed. It's the same pattern as Double Indemnity. If he hadn't taken that walk out of the way and indeed into the wild side, he wouldn't have fallen into a noir scenario. These movies tell us that we're all the objects of a random fate or destiny, and a walk home 1 block out of the way from your usual pattern can land you in a noir fix and noir whirlpool from which there is no recovery.
Wish you'd tell me what's engraved on that anklet.
Just my name.
As for instance?
Phyllis.
Phyllis Dietrichson, the character played unforgettably by Barbara Stanwyck in Double Indemnity, is a classic example of femme fatale, fatal woman. The femme fatale is the hyper-sexualized woman who is dangerous for the male about to stray.
Show Mr. Neff into the living room.
So the wicked woman is a recurrent figure in film noir, and critics have said, and certainly a case could be made, that the presence and characterization of the wicked woman would suggest a certain misogyny in classic era noir.
Shut up, baby.
Probably guilty as charged. I like to think of these films as male nightmares.
Chris, it was a woman, wasn't it? I thought so.
And they are. And in some ways you could say the films are anti-sexual. They're certainly anti-sex outside marriage. I don't think a lot of the films from this era would pass the test of contemporary identity politics. Are there wonderful images of women, strong women, who are also positive and enforcing and affirming in these movies? No, there's not. Both these films have dark endings, and that's pure noir. The protagonists who err, who fall into crime, who do not resist temptation, have miserable endings. So the films are really warnings to the middle-class American male. Stay where you are, don't stray. If you see a beautiful, tempting woman, run in the other direction. Walk home the same way every night. Stick to routine. So these films do, in a way, I think, propose a kind of social containment. Do not stray from the boundaries of your ordinary, law-abiding, middle-class existence.
Hi, my name is Eric Lynn. I'm a New York-based cinematographer of films like Hearts Beat Loud and The Sound of Silence, which was in competition at Sundance this year. You know, for me, lighting is how you get into the subjectivity of a story. It's like, how are the visuals giving us access to the characters, to the story, to their arc. So for like Hearts Beat Loud, I wanted the lighting to kind of track the emotional arc between Frank and his daughter. They're, you know, cohabitating, but in very kind of separate worlds. And, you know, I wanted the lighting to accentuate that kind of difference. So, you know, it's in these ways that I'm always trying to accentuate the subjectivity of the character.